Hello and welcome to the third episode of Get a Lodestone of This. I'm your host Areg, and I'm joined once again by Mr. He's only right 30% of the time, Gentle Tugna.
Oh, is this what I'm known for now?
Yes.
I'm correct 100% of the time, 30% of the time. I don't know why you brought me back on.
Uh,
I don't understand this.
a lot of people thought we had good chemistry in the previous episode. They requested your return.
So I know nothing about chemistry.
Um,
This is
I
good.
I had chemistry for 2 years, and I still don't know much about chemistry, so it's okay.
I'm studying A-level chemistry right now, and I don't know anything about chemistry.
It's okay. We can pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone asks, I know what a haloalkane is.
Welcome to the chemistry podcast.
Yes, where we'll be discussing alchemy.
Yeah. So before we start the show, I just have two things I'd like to bring up. So, first thing is iTunes. This podcast is finally on iTunes. So, this episode and the previous two episodes is on iTunes. Just search for Get a Lodestone of This, and you should find it. If you do decide to download it from iTunes, it would be great if you could rate it as well.
Ideally, not 1 star. But if that's what you're into, you go right ahead.
Yeah, if you want to give me or us 1 star, you're welcome to. But it would be better if you gave us 5 stars.
I'll compromise and go
Yeah.
with 1 star.
And then I wanted to address some feedback about the length of the podcast. So last episode was 3 hours long.
3 grueling hours.
So I just want to say that we won't normally go 3 hours. That was just because of the release of the patch. And believe it or not, we actually cut out a lot from the patch notes. So if we had included everything, it could have been 5 hours.
Oh, much more than that. We could have gone on for about 7 hours
Yeah.
if you'd really tried.
So normally, I'll aim for about 1 hour. That's pretty normal for a podcast.
Well, 3 hours is quite normal as well in some cases.
Yeah, it depends on what you're discussing.
Not that I feel like going for 3 hours again, good lord. Got stuff to do.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into the new segment, which this time only contains 6 items.
Less than 10% of the previous section.
Yeah. So number 1, the Final Fantasy XI cross Final Fantasy XIV collaboration event called The Maiden's Rhapsody is currently on and will last until the 31st of December. If you haven't done the quest yet, you can pick it up at Laminsa Upper Decks, and the rewards are some pretty cool glamour armor items.
I feel like this event served to really portray the sort of the design philosophy of the developers, in that they decided, knowing that everybody wanted samurai in the game, they added in a way to taunt people. They added in a samurai costume,
Yeah.
an incomplete one at that. No sword, no helmet as far as I know,
No, cause
and no
the
class.
the Helm Glam item is just a headband, so it's not an actual helmet.
It's not a kabuki.
No,
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
It's
But
something beginning with a K, I don't know.
on the other hand, that was a reward for a previous event.
Kabuto!
Yes,
Kabuto is the word.
yes. Yeah, the Kabuto has been a reward in a previous event.
Has it?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't. It was a troll Kabuto. It was like a horse Kabuto.
Oh, yeah. I need one of those.
I
When I
think
get on my horse as a horse. And
so.
horse around, if you will.
Yeah, great pun.
Thank you. I've been forming that one in my mind for the last 4.5 years, just awaiting my chance, and it finally came.
In the form of this podcast.
Yeah, I can die disappointed now.
But uh, I think we'll see the actual samurai class eventually.
I kind of hope we don't, because it makes people mad, and I
Why?
love it. I feed off of it.
You can feed off something else.
We need classes that are completely new and have nothing to do with any pre-existing Final Fantasy classes, because I feel that that would piss the most people off. We need a tech class that's not the machinist, like a hacker. We need a class that hacks Allergen technology and only works in the binding coil. So therefore can't be leveled.
I'm no expert on Final Fantasy classes, but I'm pretty sure there have been another technical class.
Listen, I don't know Final Fantasy. You bring me on your Final Fantasy podcast. You bring me into your home. And I don't belong here.
It's okay. Final Fantasy opens its doors to everyone, even the infidels.
Even lightning. Jesus fuck.
Lightning is like the. It's like the.
Go on.
I was going to say something a bit offensive, so,
you're
so I'm not gonna.
You're not getting out of this now. This is happening.
I was going to say it's like the touched cousin of the family that no one really wants to speak to, but he's still part of the family.
I was expecting something much more offensive from you.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, you better be more offensive next time.
I'll try my best.
Step up your game.
I'll try. So moving on to number 2. A number of new items have been added to the Mog Station. This includes the outfits of all the Scions, uh, but note that this only includes the old outfits, so not Tatar's new outfit.
I'm disappointed that the new Ishtola outfit wasn't put on because that thing looks glorious.
Oh yeah, a lot of fans have been asking for that. But in true Square Enix fashion, they're just trolling the fans.
Was that a deliberate pun?
Which pun?
Square Enix fashion?
Oh, that
Fashion?
no, that wasn't deliberate, but yeah.
You got talent. You're gonna go far, kid.
Thank you. Other items include a red and white version of the Magitek Armor mount and glams and the minion from last year's Christmas event.
So they're going with Christmas Magitek Armor. I can't imagine anything more festive than sitting in front of a roaring flame in a log cabin in the middle of winter. The door's all snowed up, but you've got supplies. Just imagine it.
Yeah.
You've got food in the cupboards. You've got 16 cartons of eggnog just lying outside of the fridge because they won't fit. They're beginning to smell, but you don't care because at least you're alive in this frozen hellscape. And then, suddenly, Magitek Armor bursts through the ceiling, and you're free.
Yeah.
You're finally free. Except you haven't attuned to the aether currents yet, so you can't get out of the hole in the ceiling.
No, that's true, but you can still ride out.
Would you be able to actually jump into the top of one of those things? They're tall. They're like 10 feet tall.
You could stack up all your supplies and then climb onto the Magitek using the supplies.
So what you're suggesting is stepping on cartons of eggnog. Do you think that'll end well?
You know, when there's a lot of cartons placed on top of each other, that adds strength.
But
Then
at least the ones on the top are gonna bend a little bit, and then they'll slip off, your feet will slip, you'll knock the rest down. And what happens then? Broken neck. You're done.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah.
You failed this choose your own adventure book.
Yeah. Broken neck and no more eggnog.
And a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Let the cold in. Letting the heat out to avoid offending physicists.
Yeah. I studied physics as well, so I'm...
Oh, in that case, letting the cold in.
So, moving on to number 3. The winners of a number of contests have been announced. The All Saints Wake screenshot, the cartographers and seekers, airship components, research and development contests. Yeah. Congratulations to the winners. More information can be found on the official forums.
Congratulations.
So, yes.
You've won the right to continue making entries into contests with the sole purpose of making up for the fact that there is a small dev team. You get to come up with their ideas so they can keep the game actually working.
Yeah. So, I was interested in what the winners actually get. So, I actually went.
It's always Goopy earrings.
Yeah,
Every single time, and some
yeah,
kind of face bandana.
yeah. It was. I think it was a choice between 2 earrings, 2 necklaces, and the face scarf.
Would you like to either look fabulous with your new earrings, or survive an epidemic using your face mask? Would you like to look like you're in some kind of Chinese slum
I would.
where preventable disease has broken out?
I'd go for Chinese slum.
I don't actually know if there are slums in China. I don't know
Th-
geography.
There must be. There are slums everywhere.
Yeah, but I might be thinking of like someplace beginning with S. I can't remember.
Shanghai?
Shanghai, yes. I might be thinking of Shanghai.
I'm sure there's
Specifically like 1920s Shanghai. It's probably pretty clean now, I don't know.
I don't. Maybe the city itself is clean, but the air is probably super polluted.
So we begin a new segment of the podcast.
Yeah, the
1920s Shanghai. What would
yeah.
you like to know about 20s Shanghai? Send in your questions.
wasn't China occupied by France during that time?
I think it was, yeah. I mean, my only source of this is like a book I'm halfway through. So I'm not the most knowledgeable person on this.
Yeah, me neither.
News section number 3? Is it number 3 next?
It's number 4 next.
Okay, let's read number 3 again.
Oh, that was just the contest stuff.
Okay, let's read number 3 another time. Let's start over with number 3. Again and again. I want this to be another 3-hour podcast. That's what I'm saying.
No, let's move on. Because the next one we'll be able to discuss. So number 4, in an interview with Japanese website Gamer, Yoshi P revealed some information about the Anima weapons coming in patch 3.15 and the bonus that Zeta owners can expect. So Zeta owners will be able to skip the first step in the creation of the Anima weapons. He then said, quote, including the short ones, I'd say there are about 5 steps. There may be a lot of people who won't really want to do the first step. At the very least, I'd choose to skip it if I could, end quote. And then he laughed.
Oh, Yoshi P.
He's
You and
evil.
your anime weapons. Thank you
And
for
then
deliberately hurting the player base by creating a first step that will destroy our souls.
yeah. And then he was asked if it would be easier to just complete the Zeta weapon ahead of release of 3.15. He said that with the removal of the restrictions on earning light for your relic. They wanted to make it possible to earn the Zeta alone. It made it easier for players who were in the last half of the Zodiac weapon process to create a Zeta, but if you are creating a Zeta from the very beginning, you think it would be better for you to do the first step of the Anima weapon.
However, the point being missed here is that you can get a Zeta ahead of time.
Yeah.
But you have to wait until the patch to even start the first step of the anime weapon.
Yeah. So, he's saying that if you're starting from scratch, it's easier to do the first step. And I think it depends. Like, if you're starting completely from scratch, then you're probably better off doing the first step of the Anima weapon. But let's say you have already done one Zeta weapon, and you have Alexandrite leftovers. I don't think it would take that long to complete the whole weapon from scratch.
Or if you have a lot of time on your hands and happen to also not mind just being numb. Having all emotions stripped from you.
So,
if you're okay with that, then go right ahead and just generally play Final Fantasy. Play MMOs.
So, I have some good news for those who are currently farming light. So you're either on the Nexus step or the actual Zeta step. So you can now do Ifrit normal mode, undersized, in less than 30 seconds as a DPS class. And you get 8 light every single time.
That's not bad.
So, I think...
Can Ifrit normal get a bonus?
I think so. I'm not sure, but when I did my Bard weapon, there was never a bonus, but I still did it in no time.
Yeah,
just because
the thing about bonuses, though, is that there's never a bonus in the thing you're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, there straight up isn't a bonus.
Yeah. If there is a bonus, though, you would get 16 points. So, very nice.
Well, if that ever happens, I'll be sure to still never get around to it.
Why? It only takes half a minute each time.
I like having human emotion. I don't want to be some kind of pseudo machine.
Do you know how much light you need?
A lot?
Okay, well, I would say that if you do it for 1 hour, you would get about 300 to 400 light-ish.
I think I have about 800 light.
Okay, so
3 hours of nothing but Ifrit normal. More than 3 hours. I'm a healer class. So it won't take 30 seconds. I mean, like, proper healer, not a god scholar.
Go cleric. And yeah.
I am an astrologian. Wait, no. No, I'm not. You can't get a Zeta on astrologian. I'm a white mage with that.
Yeah. But white mage DPS is better than astrologian anyway, isn't it?
Single target, yeah.
Yeah.
And sustained, yeah.
Yeah.
And always if you don't have aero cross-classed.
Yeah.
So most of the time.
Yeah. And Square Enix recently also teased the Anima weapon on the official website.
Oh,
Did you see that?
I didn't, no.
Okay. There was more or less no information, but we saw the weaponsmith guy. What's his name? Gerald?
Yeah, Geralt.
Yeah. He was there, and he was in Aziz Law, which means that there's potential for him being on the other side of the map.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
How do you get there anyway?
who knows? But it's a bit like when they placed him in North Shroud, you had to ride to get him.
I feel like there's going to be some kind of big reveal around Geralt.
Yeah.
Such as, he's actually 8,000 years old and elegant. That's how he can make these relics.
Yeah. The other guy, what's his name? Jalzan?
Yeah, Jalzan.
Yeah, he's not there. There's a new guy replacing.
Oh, thank God. I hate that guy.
But now you can hate the new guy instead.
I would love to. Good, good. Let the hate flow through you.
I think that's the Star Wars podcast.
I am Emperor Palpatine. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast. In this week's news, I might die. I don't remember how Star Wars ends, so...
Really?
Oh, I remember. Spoilers, though. How long ago was Star Wars? Like 20 years? Not 20 years. Can't have been 20 years.
The original trilogy?
Original trilogy, yeah.
That depends, like, if you count the...
Pre-Vader no stuff.
If you count the re-release, that was done in...
Not the re-release.
That was done in 97.
Pre-Vader no. So not re-release.
Okay, so originally it was released in the late 70s, I think.
Well.
So...
Long before I was born.
Yeah, we're both younger than Star Wars.
The little babbies by comparison.
Are you excited for episode 7?
I am fairly excited.
Yeah.
I don't get excited so much by movies. I get excited to find out how badly they'll flop. And Star Wars, although it's likely to be good with J.J. Abrams involved, it has massive potential to flop, and I can't stay away from that.
I think it will be good.
I hope it'll be good, but I also hope it won't be good.
Oh,
However it goes, I'll be happy.
If it's bad, then...
I can't wait for the outrage if that's the case.
There will be so much salt on the internet.
Did you see that post on Reddit a while ago, probably a few months ago now? There was the theory that about Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy being the main antagonist.
Oh. No?
It's actually plausible. Basically, I can't remember who posted it. I don't go on Reddit much. I just
Oh.
happened to see this one post. But yeah, someone posted this whole theory, and they'd got a lot of comparisons between how Jar Jar was made to move and moves that were actually done by Jedi. He's been caught on numerous occasions where the people who actually rendered him and animated him,
Yeah.
they must have deliberately put in lip movements as if he's speaking, like how Jedi have to do lip movements in the way that they do their mind tricks to make other people say things. They have to sort of lip sync it themselves to make it work, and Jar Jar has been seen doing that. He's been sort of seen getting his way into positions of power by doing that.
Okay.
Like, this guy's a commander of some sort in an army. He has to have some kind. He's got to be good at something, but he doesn't appear to be good at anything. And yet everything always works out for him. Like, he dodges bullets.
Yeah. True Matrix style.
Yeah. He kicks droids to make them shoot other droids.
He better not be in it.
What was the Final Fantasy game that was basically the plot of Star Wars? Was that Final Fantasy X?
No.
I think it might have been 10.
No. I would know, because...
You've actually played it.
No, yeah, I have played it, but you would be hard-pressed to find a bigger fan of Final Fantasy X than me.
So, it might be 12 then. I don't know. I know I know there's a Final Fantasy game where the basic concept is some kind of rogue character along with a monster best friend and a bunch of other characters have to fight the Empire and prevent them from doing something with a giant ship like the Death Star.
Maybe 6?
Probably not 6.
Okay. Final Fantasy XII has some elements of that, but...
Does it have the Empire?
It has an empire, yes. Or it has 2 empires, but... yeah.
Is one of them some kind of rebel alliance?
No. It's basically 2 empires at war with each other, and then you have this little country based more or less in the middle of them.
Oh, so it's the plot of every single thing from Japan which involves Gundams.
I'm not familiar with Gundams, so...
I haven't watched a lot of Gundam, but everything I have watched involving Gundams or Gundam-like robots has been that plot.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched Gundam, so I can't say anything.
Okay. We should probably get back on a topic.
Oh yeah. It's a good thing there's only 6 news items. Number 5. Square Enix has teased Saint Endalim's Scholasticate, which is a new side quest series.
They do like their saints, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Or Ishgard likes their saints. The quote on the website was, "After the truth of Ishgard's history is revealed, the students of the Holy Sea's finest seminary find themselves in a precarious position. The warrior of light joins a familiar face in investigating the trials and tribulations of the future clergymen and women. Now, on the forum and on Reddit, people are speculating that this is the return of Hildy.
Okay, I'm going to add my own speculation in.
Yeah?
That is that it's not Hildebrand at all. It's not even a well-known character. Not a speaking character. It's going to be Meme Desu.
Who's that?
That is a Lalafell character, which I believe was in the Weavers Guild. I think I talked about this character on the last podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the...
I don't think they actually speak much. They're just sort of a character that is in the Weavers Guild with a name above their head. They've got no significance whatsoever. But I think it's them, because they have a fantastic name, combining what it is to play a Japanese MMO. Memes and Desu.
But it says the Warrior of Light joins a familiar face.
Yep, I know who Meme Desu is. Therefore, it's a familiar face.
Okay.
Every player has at least passed them before.
Yeah, but
they don't.
You've also passed the merchant and
merchant and mender.
Yeah.
It's every single merchant and mender at once. It's some messed up fleshy amalgamate of all of them at once. Perfect. It looked like that Void Ark boss, Jabba the Hutt, from Final Fantasy XII.
Second final boss?
I just know it's Jabba the Hutt from Final Fantasy XII. I haven't actually played Final Fantasy XII, by the way, so...
I know.
I mean, actually Jabba the Hutt.
I don't remember a Jabba-like creature in Final Fantasy XII.
This big blobby tentacle creature is what I'm on about in the Void Ark.
Yeah, I know. But since you said Final Fantasy XII, I was just trying to think back.
This is already established. I've only played 14 and 7.
Yeah.
So anything I say about the others, assume that it's wrong 70% of the time, 100% of the time.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, have you seen the...
I've heard the news.
Okay.
I don't know what to think of it. I don't really care for it. I never really cared for the remake anyway.
Okay. Will you pick it up when it eventually comes out?
The thing about that is, if it's episodic, it's going to cost a lot of money by the end.
Yeah,
it's probably not going to be worth it, is it?
It depends how much they charge per episode.
Unless the reception is particularly good, I won't pick it up.
Yeah.
I wait for reviews first, as I do with everything. I don't pre-order, I don't get things blindly.
That's a smart way to do it.
Well, I feel stupid when I miss out on pre-order bonuses.
But a lot of the time, they offer the pre-order bonuses as DLC later on anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to get, like, a physical Pip-Boy as DLC.
Well,
I
didn't say
one of those.
If the pre-order bonus is something digital, then they usually offer that as DLC.
Yeah, no one cares about the digital stuff though. It's all about that Pip-Boy.
Yeah. I think you can still get those, can't you?
I can't say I've looked.
Okay. I don't care about Fallout, so I don't know.
So news.
So yeah, final news item number 6. Final Fantasy XIV won the PlayStation Network Award last week. To celebrate, Square Enix will release special Final Fantasy XIV themed avatars free on the PlayStation Store. The avatars include job illustrations, Final Fantasy XIV character portraits, and Final Fantasy XIV character pixel art. They're currently only available on the Japanese PlayStation Store, but they'll come to the West in the future.
So, I know awards are generally not something to be considered. Like, don't value them. I don't rate awards because they're, it's all about the publishers that happen to sponsor the events. But
Yeah.
how reliable is the PlayStation Network Award, really? Like, do they tend to use it to market things, or do they just is it an actual award? Is it like somebody votes on an award?
It was awarded to them at the PlayStation Award. Now, I follow gaming news quite closely, and I've never heard of the PlayStation Award before.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either. I assumed I was just losing it.
But I did look it up after I saw the tweet, and it is an actual Sony PlayStation event. So,
have they had the awards in previous years, or is it new?
I didn't look that up, but
something can be real and still not have happened before.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't check if it has happened before or not, but
somebody is screaming right now. Somebody is listening and screaming that we haven't heard of the PlayStation Awards because we are PC scum.
I have a PlayStation.
Yeah, and you haven't heard of the PlayStation Awards, have you?
No, but that's
what
because
loser.
It's because no one has heard of the PlayStation Award.
I bet I can find someone who's heard of it.
Okay.
Listen out for the screaming in the distance.
Ah!
Might have to travel around a bit to find it. But eventually.
Yeah.
So, news?
Yeah.
Was that it?
That was it, yeah.
Wow.
Though, you can look at the avatars on the blog that Square Enix does. The pixel art look pretty cool. I'll probably pick
hours and the news is done.
Yeah. I'll pick one up when it comes to the West, I think. Since it's free.
4 years, I'm going to bet. 4 years, they'll be released. And then the next year, a new console will come out. Because people will pay for consoles. Not because one will be needed, because a new one won't be needed until the end of the cycle, which will be in about 11 years, probably.
The next Nintendo console is coming next year.
Yeah, and I'm pissed because I got a Wii U recently.
Oh.
Well, Star Fox is coming out. There's a Zelda game coming out.
Have you seen the
Splatoon and Smash? It's pretty good.
Yeah, but have you seen that Star Fox game?
I have seen it. I saw the announcement of it. I was watching the Nintendo event. I forget which event it was. It might have been E3. I think it was the E3 conference. It was done at.
Probably, yeah. I saw like a gameplay demo of it, and it looked not great.
It looked strange.
Yeah.
It has the potential to be good, but it was like the control method was strange. But
Yeah,
one thing that can be said for Nintendo is they're very good at making strange control methods that actually feel right.
yeah,
They did it with the Wii, they did it with the Wii U, they did it with the DS.
yeah.
They can do it.
We shall see. Um, but you can never go wrong with Zelda and Smash.
Oh, you can go wrong with Zelda. Have you ever played Spirit Tracks?
Is that the handheld one?
It is one of the DS ones.
Ah,
It wasn't actually that bad, come to think of it, but it had this issue where you had to go through the same temple about 15 times
mm,
at different points in the game, and it barely changed.
okay. No, I haven't played that one, but in general, you never go wrong with Zelda games.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably one of my favorite games of all time was Twilight Princess, just
Mm.
because of the music.
I haven't played a console Zelda since Ocarina of Time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's because I haven't owned any Nintendo consoles since the SNES.
Damn. How
Yeah.
did you play Ocarina of Time then?
At a friend's house.
I was on the N64.
Yeah, I played it at a friend's.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever do get a chance, I would seriously recommend playing Twilight Princess. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's the one with the
With the
wolf,
wolf,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the wolf.
Mm.
Yeah, there's just this one track on it in particular called Midna's Lament. It's beautiful.
Okay. I'll. Should I check it out on YouTube later, or should
Yeah,
I save it
definitely.
for?
You should definitely check it out on YouTube.
Okay.
It's sort of in the background in the game.
Okay. I'll check it out. So to get back on track, um,
Oh yeah. It's not
let's
just
move on
news, is
to
there?
let's move on to the topic of the show segment, which is patch 3.1 impressions. So patch 3.1 has been out for about a month now. So we'll just go through the new things and talk about, well, our impressions of them. So let's start with the Void, or the Void Arc.
Oh, the Void Arc. I've been playing a lot of Warframe, so I thought, the Void? How does he know?
So what are your impressions of the Void Arc?
As much as I dislike doing the Void Arc, I think it's the best it could have been.
Yeah,
The problem with the 24-man raids is you can't have a pre-made alliance, and most players wouldn't be able to even if it was an option. So you
Yeah.
have to do it in Duty Finder,
yeah,
meaning it has to be easy, and that's
Yeah.
that's the problem. Void Arc is too easy to really be fun for me.
yeah. I
But
was,
the aesthetic and some of the mechanics that were in there, they were good. And they're, as a healer in particular, sometimes with Jabba the Hutt, like the vomit, and if people are stupid and spread out of your range, there's the potential there for it to be difficult to deal with, at
Yeah.
least for part of it.
yeah. I thought it was very easy as well, but I think this is sort of like um, Labyrinth of the Ancient, where it's easy in order to prepare people for the next stage, the next
Yeah, I
raid.
guess I have heard a lot of people, just in general, saying that they haven't done any of the previous 24-man raids. So I guess it sort of serves a purpose of being a tutorial for using the Alliance heads-up display elements as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And speaking of the Jabba the Hutt boss, by the way, that is the most disgusting boss ever. So last week I was tanking it for the first time.
Have fun
And
with a close-up of that thing's face.
yeah, and the boss ate me, and then it chapped me out.
Yep, I've had that done to me.
And what I really love is when you come out the other end. You actually roll around on the floor, and it looks pretty realistic. And I'm like, wow, they actually added a brand new animation just for this.
Is there really another animation?
Yeah.
I never noticed. It's only happened to me once, you see, and that was when there was the pool of poison on the ground, so I couldn't see the animation very well.
Ah, no, you actually roll around on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put some work into it.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
So, what's
So
next?
keep an eye out for that next time.
I don't want there to be a next time. I don't want to be in that thing. The first time I went through the Void Arc, when I saw that, I threw up in my mouth.
Well, you can still see it even if it doesn't happen to you. It can happen to someone else, and you can just see it. You can witness it.
Why would I want to bear witness to such horrific things?
Because the animation is glorious.
Yeah, I want to watch like a shite-covered character roll around in a pool of sewage. That'll be fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Thanks, SE.
Did you pay attention to the storyline of the Void Arc?
I did, and then I forgot it. The
Oh.
one thing I did pick up on is it's better than Alexander.
Yes.
Which I hate that, because Alexander had so much potential to be good.
I know.
They just can't do it right, because it would require changing the area that it's set in
Yeah.
to really give you an impression of the consequences of failure.
Yeah.
And they can't do that because, you know, not everyone will have done Alexander. People are still leveling their first characters.
Yeah. It's a shame. Especially since Alexander is it's quite a special summon or primal or whatever in Final Fantasy lore.
I didn't actually know that. I don't know anything about Final
It's
Fantasy.
like it's a super powerful summon usually.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Is he actually a robot? He sounds like a food critic to me. Alexander Savage.
In the Final Fantasy games I've played, he's actually a robot. Yes.
Fantastic. Oh, about changing the environment, the one thing I could see happening
Yeah.
is, like they tend to, changing it between patches.
Yeah.
Like, have it in its current state until, say, 3.2, when the next set of Alexander raids should probably be coming out.
Yeah.
And then change it. And
Yeah.
get rid of the damn goblins.
Yeah.
Nobody wants the goblins.
Yeah.
And we don't need, like, Auragil equivalent of Harry goddamn Potter
Yeah.
holding the scar every 2 minutes. Like, oh no, I can feel them coming. I can feel that. I can sense danger. Somebody save me from all of this shit, even though I have a gun and act all tough. And being an NPC, I'm probably stronger than any player character is actually able to be, but no, you fight all these monsters.
They're too busy confirming Illuminati.
I see. The Goblin Illuminati.
Yeah.
Best part of the game.
Yeah.
Just doesn't really have its place in what would be better off as a serious story.
Yeah. So, Uh,
Yeah, we were going through the 3.1 stuff with impressions, weren't we? So
yes.
we just did Void Arc.
Yeah. So next up is the new Roulette Dungeons.
Oh boy, Saint Mobile. Fantastic.
You like it?
I quite liked the fact that there are enormous pulls in
Yeah.
which I can get to the end of them and then let people die from final stings.
Have
Love that
you?
part.
Were you around when people discovered the fast way of doing it?
What, only attacking the honeycombs and
Yeah.
leaving the enemies and then
Yeah.
just running through?
Yeah.
I wasn't around for the discovery of it. I would assume only 4 people were around for that.
You would be correct in assuming so.
I have done that, and
Yeah.
I believe I did it with you.
Oh
Other.
yeah,
Uh,
you did.
If you were a DPS at one point,
Um,
possibly. I did it. I did it with someone else as a tank. So if you were a DPS at one point, it was with you. If not, I haven't done it with you.
and you haven't done it with me.
I always end up with Pharos serious hard with you, every single time.
Yeah. Speaking of Faris series hard, um, I remember the first time we did that, and the second boss.
That was fun. That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be mechanics in the second boss. That'll make it really fun. If they get rid of the mechanic that prevents you from taking massive massive party wide damage. It was so fun to heal through that. Just clinging on.
It was so confusing. We were like,
Yeah.
should we kill that? Should we not kill that?
I was so disappointed as well because I thought, yeah, we're gonna have to kill the slimes over those holes, aren't we? 3 of us killed slimes directly over the holes and it didn't cover them.
Yeah.
So we thought it was wrong. And ended up just healing through it.
Yeah.
Just surviving it. I don't know how you mitigated all that.
Yeah, me neither.
Was it all magic damage or something?
Probably.
With you on Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Should try.
How did the others survive though? Like, I can understand me surviving, but
Well, you see, I trusted that you would mitigate everything and focus them.
ah.
And I pretty much exclusively used regens and what's it called now? Essential Dignity on you. I waited till you got low and always used Essential Dignity, and it'd take more than 40 seconds for you to get that low again.
Yeah. Dark Knights are the best for
Too good.
magic attacks.
Please nerf.
No, don't nerf.
Please
We're
nerf.
we're already pretty squishy in some situations.
They need to be more squishy.
No.
Have fun with those Thornton limit breaks.
Oh, speaking of Thornton, he's the next one up on the list.
I can't say much about Thornton because I haven't played in a while, so haven't gotten past them. I haven't gotten. I've gotten past the meteor phase, sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. A tank managed to survive the meteor impact and lived until they saw the phase after and then died. And I've lasted myself as far as I can last without DPS in the meteor phase. Just running around with light speed on, spamming heals at people. You just stand in the AoEs and get fucked up.
I actually haven't tried it yet, so I can't
want
say
to do an
anything.
FC run. I want to do
no.
FC Thornton. Because it means not having to deal with party finder people. And not having to be that party finder person that people don't want to deal with. Because I don't know the phases after meteors.
Well,
Fun fight though. Really fun. Especially as an Astrologian main. because that's one of the few fights where I can keep up with a scholar in mitigation stance.
Mm,
Just because light speed is so good in that fight.
okay.
There's constant movement required.
So that's bad news for white mages then?
No, white mages are really good in that too, because obviously they've got the better range on Medica too.
Yeah.
That's really useful too.
Okay.
Because there are some cases where people have to spread out.
Okay. Yeah, we should try an FC run at some point.
Yeah, we should. We still have to get some people through Bismarck though.
Yeah. I can't believe we failed that, by the way, with 25% echo buff.
Yeah, that was a mess.
It was,
I feel like with Bismarck though, the only people who haven't done it are those who haven't had the chance to try it,
yeah.
and those who couldn't get through because they were the problem.
uh,
So what we need is more people from our free company to go through it.
yeah.
We don't want a single person from Duty Finder or Party Finder.
Yeah. Although the one guy we got in the Duty Finder was pretty decent.
He was okay, but the rest of them kept falling off of the whale. And
Yeah, but the
falling off of the island.
But the rest of them was from the FC.
And not going into the middle when there was wind.
Yeah.
Even though there is literally text that you can look at on your minimap that tells you what weather phase it is.
Yeah. The swapping mechanic for tanks was interesting.
Yeah, that was some trouble when it was on content.
Yeah.
It was always either there or not, or people not actually being able to kill the Sanuas.
Yeah.
That was always the problem.
It always gets kind of messy if you get tornadoed as you're doing the swap.
Oh yeah,
Like that's why
those tornadoes.
so we kept failing. It was because of the tornadoes.
Oh, you just reminded me. I've got a video on YouTube, on SoundCloud and like iTunes. Is it possible to like put things in a description? Because I want this to be there.
Yeah, it is.
There's a YouTube video, if I can find it, where somebody is playing a dragoon and they do elusive jump. I think it's called.
Yeah.
You know the move where they do a hit, they land a hit and then jump backwards. They create some distance.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that and fell off of the island by doing it. But because they passed through a tornado as they fell off, they went off of the island. But then the tornado sort of caught up and it launched them back onto the island.
Really?
Saved them. A tornado actually saved somebody.
Oh wow. Yeah, we have to include the link for that.
Yeah, I've just gotten it.
Cool.
It's fantastic.
So 3 more things on the list. Next up is Diadem.
That
I
bit controversial.
How so?
A lot of people hate it because you can get gear in the Diadem for putting in no effort, which is
Yeah.
better than some raid gear.
Yeah.
The
But
only thing you can't get as a weapon.
yeah. That's true, but in order to get something that's better than the raid gear or the upgraded SO gear, you need insane luck.
Well, you say that, but I'm still using a pair of trousers from in there,
Yeah.
and it's
Like,
really good.
yeah, you can get very lucky, but in general, you need to be very lucky to get those kind of pieces.
Yeah, I feel like Diadem.
Actually,
It's not good, but the items you can gain are good enough that people just pull up with it, and then they're happy enough when they finally get the item they want that it sort of influences their opinion of it if they like it.
yeah.
As a
I
system on its own, not fun in the slightest. It's 2 hours of just hunts, basically, and nobody likes hunts.
yeah, I think I don't hate it, but it it gets pretty repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it can get fun occasionally, such as when you have about like two or three of those dinosaurs that can cast meteor.
oh yeah, that was that on our first Diadem run?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Um, but I've noticed recently that Diadem Hard is getting pretty insane. So I went there, I think on Friday, and you're never supposed to have more than 3 parties in the same diadem at once, but there were 5 parties
Three
there.
alliances you're not supposed to have.
Oh yeah. Um, but anyway, there were so many people there that only like the really, really um, hardcore people managed to get um, any loot, even though we used um, LB2 and we were DPSing the star rank from the very beginning.
Yeah, the thing about that is, uh, there's one way you can guarantee drops, and that's to be the party that had the first hit. If you're the one that ninja pulls something, you're guaranteed loot.
Really?
Yeah, you know how sometimes they have a red name and sometimes they have a purple name.
Yeah.
If it's got a red name, it means that someone in your party landed the first hit and you're guaranteed a loot. You've claimed that enemy.
So even if you only deal like 1% of the total
As long as
damage.
your party doesn't wipe and you landed the first hit,
Wow.
you've got loot.
That's interesting.
But if the name's purple, you've got to contribute a certain amount of damage. And it
Okay.
is specifically damage in the diadem as well, not hate. So you can't get
Heal.
credit for healing people in other parties enough or anything.
Yeah.
You don't get credit for tanking the boss.
Yeah.
You have to do damage,
Yeah.
which is a problem.
Yeah. One thing I do like though is that we won't really benefit until 3.2, but they've made it easy for us to obtain materia.
Oh yeah, the 5 materias.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good that there's a source for them, but did it have to be that?
Yeah. Well,
If had a different source.
the other source would have been spirit bonding shit and hope you get lucky or pay 500k per materia. That would be the other source.
I mean, they could have done something like using things you get from, extreme primals or raids to trade for them. You know, like how you trade for weapons if you don't
Yeah.
drop in extreme primals using tokens. Couldn't they just use a token system?
Maybe. But then, what about people who are unable to beat the X primals?
They don't need the materia. Filthy casuals.
I suppose that's actually true, yeah. They don't actually need the materia.
Well, the point should be there should be an entry-level raid, like, Savage 1 or Thordan, and you get tokens from that to get materia, and you might need the materia for the ones after that.
Yeah.
It's like the whole reason they added in Thordan at its current state with the current drops is because people couldn't get from the difficulty curve from Savage 2 to Savage 3 was too much.
Yeah.
That would have been an ideal place to have materia.
Yeah. Well, there's still time to implement it.
I guess so.
I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely not going to happen.
Okay, so next up, Beast Tribe.
Oh shit! Beast tribes exist. I haven't been on. No,
What?
I'd have had my mount by now.
I've seen quite a few mounts around.
I'd have had my mount today if I'd been on.
So are you rank 5 then?
6.
Ah, is 7 the final?
7's the final, yeah.
Ah, cool.
Rank 6, you get the dance. So
Ah,
I've got that. It's beautiful.
the dance is silly.
Yeah, it is.
I've only done the intro quest for the new Beast Tribe, and I immediately skipped the cutscenes because it was silly.
Yeah, you want to skip the cutscenes.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed some of the old Beast Tribes because they were actually serious. But this one, no.
And it lasts longer too.
Yeah.
7 ranks.
But the mount is pretty cool.
It's kind of ugly.
Is it? It's just a Sanua or whatever.
Yes, Sanua are ugly. I've ridden one. The quests require that you mount a Sanua. I have seen my character riding a Sanua, and it is ugly as shit. I just want it because it's available.
What's
It's like why people still get the turtle mount in the Gold Saucer. It can't fly, it's useless. But it's there.
Oh, speaking of mounts, I got the Fenrir mount.
Though impressive, it's useless because it can't fly.
That's true. Well, I use it whenever I can in the old areas.
Which is just running for hunts.
Yeah.
Do you even do hunts now?
I do still, yeah.
I thought you'd spammed hunts enough that you'd already have everything you wanted.
I do, but I still do. I don't do them as much as I used to, but I still do them just to stack up on the mark logs.
Do you have the mount?
I don't have the mount.
Get
Yet.
the damn mount, it's a dragon.
Wind has it.
I think I've seen him on it actually.
Yeah, I think he's the only one in the FC who has
He's
it.
world first. World first Wyvern mount.
Oh, another thing that's happened. Oh, no, you were there when we got the Mog House. Yeah,
I was there.
yeah.
We spent about 20 minutes trying to climb on top of the house because we saw someone up there without
Yeah.
realising that they'd gotten up there before it became the Mog House.
Yeah. It's still possible to get up though.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a bit more difficult, but it's still possible.
Well, that's good to know.
Unfortunately, we weren't world first this time with the new house.
I don't think we were world first with anything ever.
May have been server first.
Possible, I guess.
Yeah.
No way of proving it, though.
Unfortunately, we can claim that we were world first, no, server first. No one can dispute the claim.
Unless somebody has evidence.
But where's their evidence that they were before us? Because they don't know when we did it.
What if they were recording with like a camcorder from the 90s that has the date in the bottom?
Then that would be quite impressive, because they would be time travelers.
You don't have to be a time traveler to own a camcorder.
No, but didn't you say that that date said that it was from the 90s?
No,
Oh.
I mean the camcorder's from the 90s.
Oh.
It's one of the camcorders that like records to VHS and has the date and time in the bottom right corner.
Ah.
Watch my gameplay, it's on VHS. Get it from Blockbuster now. I do a 180 drag scope at 3 minutes in.
Just hit fast forward. Then just...
It's just someone turning a Tetris block 180 degrees.
Imagine if VHS was still a thing today.
Well, they still exist.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was still like the main media for videos and stuff.
You know, I have a theory.
Yeah,
The reason we haven't been contacted by extraterrestrial life
yeah.
is because they saw how stupid we were. One, to not sort of standardize Betamax. And two, that after making the decision to go with VHS, we don't use it anymore. I have a theory that VHS and Betamax have some kind of hidden use that humanity never noticed, and it's used in like it's used in interstellar travel. It would be far more advanced if we'd stuck with VHS, but because they've all been disposed of pretty much, humanity will never know. We'll never advance beyond. Is it called the Great Barrier? There's a theory about a barrier, basically, a reason that we haven't found any extraterrestrial life that basically says either there's a barrier at some point that's either behind us or in front of us that other life forms haven't passed, such as they can't get advanced enough technology. There's a barrier there. The barrier is like achieving sentience during evolution, something like that. I think that barrier is VHS.
That's an interesting theory.
I should write a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sell at least 3 copies.
Yeah. I'd buy it.
Yeah, you would.
That's your first copy sold already?
I have written it, mate.
Speaking of Interstellar, have you watched the movie Interstellar?
Interstellar is my favourite movie ever.
Ooh. It's so good.
It's the best. I love it. It's always soundtracks that do it for me.
Soundtrack is great.
The best.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what I think about the ending.
I thought it was good.
It was okay. It was just that up until that point, everything was so scientific, and then
Yeah.
it was.
I mean, it stayed really scientific, I thought. It just doesn't seem scientific because it's referencing science that humanity at that point hasn't reached. It's like saying science fiction isn't referencing anything scientific. Just because it's not real doesn't mean it doesn't have the sort of atmosphere of science around it.
Yeah.
That's what they were going for.
Mm.
But they took it so far to the extreme that other films generally don't do that it seems a little bit strange.
Yeah.
It's like beyond the stage of like interstellar travel and laser beams being used for everything and all that bollocks.
Yeah.
It takes it to a stage beyond that.
I liked it when they landed it on that water planet.
We should avoid spoilers generally.
Yeah, I'm just saying they landed it on a water planet. That's not a spoiler.
That's sort of a spoiler
Nah,
because
not really.
it's brought into question. But anyways, let's move on. What's next? What else was there in 3.1?
Main storyline. Have you done that?
I have done that. We should avoid spoilers.
Yes, we will.
Unless we say this is a spoiler section for the next whatever amount of time.
Uh, let's just avoid spoilers.
Okay,
Did you like
that
it?
cuts down my discussion time significantly.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I liked the amount of questions it raised.
Yeah. I liked it as well.
Yeah, it was good.
It surprisingly a lot of fan theories were correct.
Yeah, I mean, there was something. I get the feeling that there was something suggesting that they were true, though, before the update. Before
Yeah.
3.1. There were things sort of suggesting that it would happen. That all of these things would happen, I mean.
Yeah.
Like the fan theory stuff in particular.
Yeah.
Pertaining to, let's just say, the nature of reality.
Yeah.
That stuff was sort of alluded to before, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where, but I had the idea in my head somewhere from the game. So it must have been somewhere. I think the 3.0 story, actually. I think the end of the 3.0 story did it a little bit. That and the whole, this might be a very slight spoiler. I'll just leave that.
You have 2 seconds to fast forward
the
2 minutes.
Asian Zodiac.
What?
That sort of alludes to it too. Light and dark sort of thing.
Yeah.
Suggests sort of two planes, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
That and they talk about balance.
Yeah, rather than destroying, which a lot of the Asians have done.
Yeah, when I first heard them say about maintaining balance, I thought, oh shit, am I the bad guy? So yeah. That's not a spoiler, because nothing says that in the 3.1 story. I'll say that. Don't get mad at me. That's just me saying shit. It sounds like it would be a thing in the story, but no. That's all just me.
And you are wrong 70% of the time, so.
I am wrong 70% of the time. 100% of the time. So that's 3.1 story. There's loads of Dominion, which I haven't played.
Oh yeah, there's that as well.
What do you think of that?
It is a lot of fun, but the sad thing is that when you play against other players, it turns into basically just a DPS race. Basically, you just want to deal as much damage as possible in the least amount of time. So, in order to kill, well, you want to kill before you get killed, basically.
That sounds exactly like most of the fights in the game.
Yeah. But when you play against the AI, the boss battles, it's fantastic fun because it actually is quite strategic then.
Yeah, because I'll have specific strengths and weaknesses, won't they, bosses?
Yeah. While when you play against people, you generally only see the same 3 types of minions.
You know what? I take it's just like spawning the fastest moving high damage minions there are, Get
Yes.
them straight into the whatever the vision ward type of thing is. Destroy those first, and then send shit around the sides.
More or less, yeah.
Of course it is.
You get the cheapest, strongest, and fastest minion possible. Spam them, and then you go destroy the opponent's minions, and then you go and destroy the Arcana stones.
So they can't spawn any more of them.
Yeah.
You see,
No, that's the
I
that's the
watched
gates.
some of your guide on Lords of Dominion. That's the limit of my knowledge. I watched about 5 minutes of it.
Uh,
And I
if,
thought, why am I watching this? I'm never going to play Lords of Dominion.
you should, or at least you should against the AI. It's pretty fun.
I don't like strategy games with units. I like Boyd. I'm damn good at Boyd, and that's it. Because it's pure strategy. It's not. There's no unit management. It's just like, here's a load of points that you can move between. Predict where the other person's gonna go, what resources they're gonna try and pick up, and fuck them up with your predictions.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, pretty much. 3.1.
3.1.
But you do get
Is that anything?
you do get a minion for it if you complete the 24 AI challenges.
I actually don't care at all about minions unless they're adorable. Like
It's
the unicorn.
you get a Twintania minion.
Oh yeah, I saw you with the Twintania minion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's worth playing that though. I mean, I won't even do something I find tedious for an Anima weapon. Why am I gonna do it for a minion?
Because it's cute.
Fair point.
I think
Is there
that was...
Is there anything we didn't cover for 3.1?
No, I think that was it. At least that was the main stuff.
Yeah, there was Diadem, Thornton, Void Arc,
Roulette,
Roulette,
main story.
main story, yeah. A little bit on hunts as well, because they changed a little bit. They're not new, but for once they're being done. And that's
Yeah.
not good, because nobody likes them.
Yeah.
Let's move on then.
Let us indeed move on. That was actually the last segment of the show, actually.
Really?
So it's been a good show.
It
Please
hasn't
follow
been
me.
3 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 hours. We've gone 1 hour and 30 minutes so far.
This was supposed to be an hour.
Yeah, I know.
I became paid overtime for this.
Anyway, please follow me on Twitter. I am at AregGaming. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That's AregGaming.
You're not
Follow me on
offering any
Twitch.
incentive, man. You're
What?
not saying, oh, if you want to hear more from me, if you want my tips and various other things, or you want to watch my videos and keep up with them. No, you say, please follow my shit.
Yes.
Please, I need this. I need you to follow my Twitter at AregGaming.
If you want to get into Lord of Dominion, I have several tutorial videos on my YouTube channel. Although they only work on the AI, so don't try those tactics on human opponents, because you will get destroyed. I post videos every weekday. wide
Child of Light.
wide range of games. Child of Light,
Child of
strategic
Light
games,
really good.
Final Fantasy stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you were playing Final Fantasy XV.
Yes,
weren't
the
you?
demo.
Yeah, the demo. What was that called? Again?
Episode Duske.
Yes, episode Duske.
Um,
So I was under the impression that was already over and you couldn't play it anymore. But here it is.
oh, that would. Um, so I explained in the video as well. You got the demo by either pre-ordering Final Fantasy Type 0 or buying the first print in the store. And as long as you have that, then you can play the demo. Yeah.
You can just keep it.
Well, they gave you a download code in the game. Yeah.
See. But they can always revoke downloads. But no, they can't actually. They can always lock them though. They can lock the game.
Yeah, they can, but I don't see why they would do it for Final Fantasy 15.
I don't remember.
Because the game.
Did they do that with PT?
Yes, they did.
From the store, did they lock people out who'd already played it?
Yes.
Like
So.
downloaded.
What they, I think they did was that they announced that they would pull it off from the store, and then they pull it off, and then if you have installed PT already, you can still play, but if you never completed the download, then you can't get it anymore.
So if you have PT already, you can keep using it to just think of what could have been.
Yes.
And cry yourself to sleep.
Yes.
Not in fear like you would have, but in sorrow.
Yeah. I know someone who decided to download the PT demo on the last day it was up on the store.
Did they manage it?
No, they didn't. So what happened was he put the download on, and then it downloads in the background.
Yeah.
So he was just playing games as usual, and then he had to go out, and he turned off his PS4 because he forgot.
No.
And when he came back, then it had been pulled off the store, and the download was stuck at, I think it was 60%. And now
couldn't download it anymore because it wasn't on the store.
Now his PS4 just keeps telling him PT demo cannot be downloaded or something like that.
So he has 60% of the files though.
Yes.
He can play 60% of the game if he happens to know how to access it.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Play a version of the game with no textures. Everything is transparent.
Yeah. Or you play it and then the whole middle section is missing, and then you get to the end.
Walk through the second doorway and suddenly it's an end cutscene with credits.
Yeah. But no, that hasn't happened to the Final Fantasy XV demo. That's very much still available.
Yeah, I feel like if that had been the case, it'd be like a Flappy Bird incident all over again, with people selling the PS4s because they have the files on them.
That actually happened with PT. People started selling PS4s with the PT demo.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard of that happening. bit ridiculous that people will buy it.
I don't know. It's
Unless they're making an investment to, like, make some kind of retro throwback YouTube videos in 20 years.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm one of the only people in the world who can access the PT demo.
It's a collector's item.
I guess
So
so. But they're collecting something that doesn't actually exist. It's data.
yeah.
Speaking of which, we play video games, not physical copies generally. It's not. They don't exist. Meaning, logically speaking, we spend a lot of time doing nothing.
That's actually true.
It's completely pointless, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, it's fun. It's fun, and that's enough.
it's just
It's
as
pointless.
it's
I sound
just
like,
as productive as watching a movie or
yeah, fair point.
yeah.
I just reminded myself. Did you hear about there was a reviewer quite some time ago who said something along the lines of, when you get right down to it, really we're just sitting here pushing buttons,
Yeah.
trying like just acting like a complete twat when he's supposed to be reviewing a game, having an existential crisis instead. Yeah, that's who I've become now. I'm that twat.
Yeah. So back to the show.
Which is now over, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
We've already plugged everything.
Oh, we haven't plugged iTunes that I mentioned earlier, and SoundCloud and Bandcamp
Or Patreon.
or Patreon. Yes, that's
Don't
true
ever
as well.
forget your Patreon.
You can check out my Patreon if you would like to support me.
Yep, that's what Patreon's for.
Yep.
That's all I'll say on the subject.
What?
That is, in fact, what Patreon is for.
Yeah. So Gentle,
That's what they call me.
do you have a favorite instrument?
I really like the acoustic guitar.
Okay.
In terms of sound, I can't play any instruments.
Yeah, neither can I, so.
I attempted to learn how to play the keyboard. I didn't do well. I couldn't get doing two different sort of speeds with different hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work. I couldn't do it.
Have you tried playing the guitar?
I haven't, no. But I have a little bit, like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Just one sort of lying around. I knew someone who had Rocksmith.
Guitar.
And the tutorial stuff.
Guitar is really, really difficult. I tried to learn it. Well, I didn't try to learn it, but they made us play guitar in school.
They forced you.
Yes. And it was hard, very hard.
Isn't the issue with it just like it hurts your fingers?
It does, yes. Because you have to hold on to the strings pretty hard.
Someone's doing it.
Yeah. But anyway, my favorite instrument is the piano, actually.
That used to be my favourite.
Oh.
Until I started trying to learn to play the keyboard. I heard it too much. I heard it too much and out of tune. Not out of tune, but I was pressing the wrong stuff every so
often. But anyway, the reason why I bring this up is because to close the show out this week, we have a bit of a treat. It's a piano arrangement of Answers by the very talented Matt Fuss. Check out his YouTube channel, which is Matt Fuss, and you can buy his music on iTunes, Google Play, and Loudr. He's Matt Fuss on those as well.
Do you have permission to play this from him?
Yes, I do. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have permission.
I wanted to stop you if you didn't have permission.
No, I have permission.
Don't go making enemies.
You can follow him on Twitter and Facebook as well. He's Neo Jazzical there. Not sure why he's not Matt Fuss there as well. Go ask him. Anyway.
Okay, we need to wrap this up now.
Yes. Thanks once again for listening. Follow me on Twitter to see when the next episode goes up. So until next time, guys, take care.
Are you still going?
Yes, you can say goodbye.
I'm already gone, mate.